What's up, everybody? So I'm back with another one of my old school reviews. This time, Big Trouble in Little China, directed by John Carpenter, starring Kurt Russell, Dennis Dunn, Victor Wong, James Hong, Kim Cattrall, and again, it was one of those that is like on, the constant rotation. If maybe I had already seen Rocky 4 for the 50th time, it's like, okay, maybe let's look for something else. And this was definitely a go-to that I probably saw another 50 times before any of the other movies that I've mentioned before. The plot is simple enough as it is, but I think the real star of this show is the world in which it takes place in. So Kurt Russell is a truck driver, and he wins a bet against one of his friends, but they have to do something. They have to go pick up his fiance at the airport because she's the one that has the money that he needs to pay back Kurt Russell's character. And then she gets kidnapped at the airport by a group of thugs, and then that begins the journey down the whole into this underworld of rival gangs, Chinese myths that end up being more than just stories. And Kurt Russell is basically like the member of the audience, basically, who is, discovering and trying to understand this world that he finds himself in. Because, everybody else knows everything because this is like in Chinatown. So all of these kind of stories and myths and figures in these stories, like everybody knows them, but he's like, who is this? What are you talking about? So he's kind of like a proxy for the audience. And the funny part is like the real main character of this movie is Wang, who is played by Dennis Dunn. And because it's, his wife, it's his town, it's, his journey to save his future wife, I should say. So in any other story, he would be, the star of the show in what we say in the literature world, the rescue the maiden type of adventure. But Kurt Russell is the guy, as you can see in the poster behind me, is like he's front and center, but his importance is in the story can't be understated, because if not, you're kind of be lost in, everything that's going on, because there's a lot of cultural aspects of this movie that you wouldn't understand if you weren't Chinese, especially during this time. There's a lot of supernatural elements to this movie, which makes it really, really fun. Quick side note, because there are like these 3 henchmen to the main bad guy. What's his name again? He's played by James Hong, who's, been doing it forever at this point. Lo Pan, there we go. His 3 henchmen, one of them has like these lightning kind of powers, and that character was the basis for the Raiden character in the Mortal Kombat movies, which I always thought was kind of fun. Some great martial arts scenes. There's actually a great scene where Kurt Russell's character and Dennis Dunn are basically caught in the middle of a rival gang fight, and you have the Chang Sings and the Wing Kong. And there they are in an alley, and boom, they just start fighting, and it is like one of the most epic, frenetic, but still really digestible and understandable kind of fight scenes that, you don't really see that much of anymore, unfortunately. And then like just the quotes, you know what I mean? It's an incredibly quotable movie. You have Jack Burton saying, like one of the things that he likes to do is talk into a hand radio because he's a truck driver. So that's kind of how he expresses himself when he's driving. And he's ranting about something. And he says, well, have you paid your dues? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail. or probably the most famous one, it's all in the reflexes, and which pops up a couple of times. It's terrific fun. It's outrageous. Like I said, I like the world building. The martial arts scenes are great. Even the special effects are pretty interesting. I love the ridiculous fight scene where Dennis Dunn's character is fighting one of Lopan's henchmen, and they literally jump up in the air and are sword fighting as they're gliding through the air. It's kind of ridiculous things like that, but it's unique, it's fun, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before or since. Anyways, what about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.